Race is directed by Stephen Hopkins, and it stars Stephen James along with Jason Sudeikis, and is the true life story of the American athlete Jesse Owens. And it is an incredible story that deserves to be told. What happens in the story is basically Jesse Owens is way back in the 1930s, and he's an amazing runner. He's the fastest man in the U.S., and he breaks all the records and everything, and he goes to college, and he breaks all the records there, and then he gets into the Olympics. But that's the time, in case you didn't know, that Hitler was around, and he had to deal with all the pressure of going to the Olympics and all the pressure of dealing with the Nazis and dealing with racism and all that, and that's what this movie basically is. And this is a movie that I will say is a very good movie. It's not great, it's not phenomenal, it's not the best sports movie or biopic I've ever seen, but it's a good movie, and it's because the performances are real. Stephen James does a really good job of portraying Jesse Owens and his humanity and making him a real character, and you care for him and you care about the relationships that he has and everything that he goes through, and when he's racing and he's running, you can tell how hard he's trying, and you just feel for him, and he gives a great performance. Along with Jason Sudeikis, I don't think Jason Sudeikis is the best actor, and this, he does a pretty good performance, better than other performances that I've seen from him. He's mostly a comedic actor, and I love him in comedies, and I think he's perfect for comedies. And he's branching out a little bit here, trying to do some drama, and I thought he did a good job. He surprised me a little bit. He wasn't phenomenal or anything, but he did a good job. I was happy to see him. The performances all around the board were really well done. The directing was good. This movie has a very Disney feel to it. This is like the most Disney sports story I've ever seen that's not a Disney sports story. You know what I mean? Because it's very glossy. The way I look at this movie is it's really vanilla. It's not, it's not trying to put sprinkles on it. It's not trying to have chocolate thrown in there. It's not, it's a very vanilla movie. It's very straightforward. You could tell from the trailers exactly what it's going to be. It's a sports film, so you can kind of guess where that's going to go. And yeah, overall, it's a movie that doesn't really add anything to filmmaking or movie making or anything. It's not some crazy new experience that we've never seen before. It's pretty by the numbers. But it's an enjoyable movie to watch. It's a little bit drawn out. There's definitely some long parts in there that it gets a little bit boring. Not boring, but it gets long because there's different issues that they're dealing with, and it's not just all on the racing and all on the sports part. It has to deal with race. The cool thing about the title is that it's dealing with him actually racing and then his race and the race of people, and it's a pretty cool title, but it gets a little bit drawn out at some parts because you're like, okay, let's just get back to the racing. All right, I get it. This is what happens. But it all leads to a pretty good story, and the story it deserves to be told. It's a very good story, and I thought it was well done. It's definitely not a fantastic movie or anything, but it's a fun movie to watch. I definitely like it. It's definitely vanilla. It's definitely not gritty in any way. It's not trying to be, and I don't think it has to be. I think it's telling the story that it set out to do, and I thought it did a good job. I really liked watching it. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I recommend it. It's a fun movie to watch, and it's a movie that deserves to be seen because Jesse Owens was such an amazing athlete, and he deserves to have a movie, and here it is, so I recommend seeing it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, you can subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.